I'm Nigel. I've been stopped smoking now for roughly sort of like 18 months. I was being woken up on a night by my wife because I'd go to bed and I'd sort of like lay there and I'd start rasping as I was sort of like going to sleep. So I'd get the obligatory nudge to sort of like wake up and clear my throat. And I also found that when I was sort of like walking the dog, I was struggling as well, you know, in terms of breathing and things like that. If I'm being perfectly honest, on top of that, I was spending an awful lot of money. But the fact that I was struggling sleeping, I suppose that gave me the signal that something needed to change on top of the finances. I mean, using service were really, really good for me because it's such a personal service that you got. I found it really, really useful. Caroline didn't sit there and say, right, this is a track you must go on. She actually gave me a list of options in terms of what I could do and which part of the service I wanted to enter into. That personalised approach from Caroline, it was a bit like having an angel on your shoulder, sort of like chelping in your ear, but in a good way, not a nasty way, saying keep it up, which were great. I suppose it's knowing that there's somebody there at the end of that phone, but there's also somebody there if you need to go and see him in person. What I've found by stopping smoking is that wheezing now has ceased. So I do have a bit more of a spring in my step. The mental health benefits is knowing that you're not driven by the fact that you need to sort of like, you know, sort of like smoke. And I also know that obviously sort of like walking my dog Betty, I feel like I've got certainly more energy and motivation to do that. You come and say hello.
Yeah.
That's
Ooh. I know your bugbear.
When I was smoking and I was walking better before, I was struggling to a large degree. Effectively, I'd be walking the dog, and at certain times I'd be gasping for air. And the fact that you've got a bit more energy now when you're not gasping for air after you've gone 200 yards, you feel free. You know, that element of freedom with nature, and the fact that, you know, I'm able to do that by not smoking and having that level of energy by not smoking means a lot to both of us. What I'd advise people to do is think about how much money you're spending. The second thing is think about your health. Remember that the service is personal to you, not anybody else, you. They are the angel on your shoulder.